deep, deep in outer space to planet Earth. To the red rocks of Sedona comes a time, an event, a place, a message of making contact.
There's no better time for making contact. This is most needed at this time because making contact presents the opportunity for us to prepare to meet advanced civilizations.
Thanks, George, for the introduction. I'm Alan Steinfeld, the author of Making Contact, and along with Hope Fitzgerald, the creator of the Infinity Wave, we are inviting you to join us on a sacred journey to the enchanted land of Sedona. These beautiful red rocks will create the background for us to tap into the infinite self as well as the cosmic others. April 30th to May 4th, this Sedona retreat is designed to be on the land. We'll come together to exchange stories, raise our frequencies, and call in our star family awaiting our invitation. We'll also be guided to these vortexes through meditations with Peter Sterling and his beautiful harp music. Come and join us and be part of humanity's rising. Register at spreadinfinitehope.com/Sedona. See you there. Thank you. George, any final comments?
Someday, somehow in the future, the conflicts that have plagued our species for eons will come to an end. And by making contact, we will take our rightful place among the stars.
The whole idea about this conference, Hope, is that we are at a time in history where the planet is changing, our relationship to the cosmos is changing, and I think people are ready to start making contact. And this is an opportunity for people joining us in Sedona for 3.5 days to share their experiences of contact, but also we will facilitate the making contact.
Yeah, it's really pretty exciting because, as you say, this is a time in history like no other. Now, we know we've been visited by our galactic family for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. We know that. What is different now is that there has been such secrecy about this in our lifetimes, and even before we were born, there's been such a lid on it that it hasn't served the population. And furthermore, there's been so much leaking out now of this giant bucket. Whistleblowers, both in government, in the military, and others have been speaking out this so-called disclosure.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
I would say, and I've told people that you have to know where to look. They're not going to divulge it to you because of the classification levels. But if you know where to look and who to talk to, which is exactly where Mr. Grush can point you, then you have them.
You've stated that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Which is trying to be monitored by the powers that be, the governments, whatever. It's steering it in certain directions.
Right.
And we want to get a different narrative going, not only going, but we want to be experiencing what it's like to take a personal path to connection.
So many people are having their own experience. We don't need the government to say what your reality is. So this is an opportunity for lots of people who have had experiences to come together, share their experiences. And I think when a lot of us experiencers, I think we're both experiencers, I know I am, come together, it's sort of like a magnet to these other beings, these benevolent beings that we hope, we plan will show up there in Sedona, because Sedona really is ground zero for contact. I mean, Bashar says he has a ship over Sedona, so I think given the background and the kind of environment that we'll be setting with the opportunities for sharing and opening and awakening, and you're bringing in the higher energies and all the exercise we'd be doing, then we'll go out onto the vortexes and call them in. That's the plan.
Yeah. I mean, what's beautiful, if you just think about this in terms of having galactic neighbors,
Mhm.
how do you show up for your neighbor? Do you pretend they're not there? Or do you wave at them and say, "Hey, I'm a friendly neighbor. Call me if your pipe breaks, or call me if you need sugar," or whatever it is. I believe it's time for us individually, and it's not like this hasn't been happening with other groups and so on, but I just feel individually it's for us to step forward and just wave. Literally wave our hands, wave with our spirits, use the infinity wave to raise our frequencies in order to bridge the gap a little bit,
Right,
so that we can make a friendly gesture. And
right.
that's important.
What Hope Fitzgerald does is that she's created a technology, a kind of spiritual, psychic, conscious technology, which facilitates a waving to the others. Do you want to talk about the wave a little bit, Hope, and tell us how we're going to do it?
Sure, and just to be very clear, I did not create it. It appeared to me and was offered to me with a very strong urgency to share it with others and
And
learn
what
about
was
it
offered
myself.
to you? Tell us what it was.
The infinity wave, which is a figure eight made of flowing water. I wrote a book about it, The Infinity Wave,
And
Mastering the Art of Love, Compassion, and Flow. What the infinity wave, it's very good at many things, but because it is in and of itself a high frequency technology, energy technology, it's operating from the 10th dimension. Or so it says. When you apply that frequency to ours here, to 3D, it has the effect of raising the collective energy in that situation. So if it's between you and me, that's one thing, but you can do it in a room, you can do it over a city, you can do it just about anywhere. And it has this effect of raising everything up. Now, when we have a group of people together, oh, and I should say that the two main energies that flow in that watery figure eight sign are 10th dimensional love and compassion. So now we're kind of put into a certain Christed energy. We're put into a high frequency, which makes us much more available to other things than 3D reality. It
Right.
puts us into a flow state. And when my feeling is, and this is, I think you share this with me, that when we practice the wave together in a group, this will be the light beam we send out to attract our galactic family in to connect with us.
Well, that's why we're doing it there in Sedona. We have a better chance of connecting with those beings, because that land is already a higher frequency. If we go into these motions of waving this energy, of emitting it out to the cosmos, then for sure people are going to be having some experience.
And Alan, it's so true about using these particular land energies as it has a trampoline effect. When we engage with them, then everything we do is already boosted. It's quite remarkable. I've done this all over the world, and it's it's reliable. It's reliable. That's why we chose Sedona.
Yeah, well, what I say, and I've said it as I've gone to sacred places, if we're on sacred land, which means it's highly charged, and we're in a sort of sacred ceremony, in touch with the sacred self, then people are going to have sacred experience or higher consciousness experiences, and that's where these beings are existing. They're not going to come down to our level. I always say, if you're talking to your dog, you're not going to bark at them. So I'm not saying we're dogs, but I don't know, we're animals, but we're not. We need to raise our frequency up to meet them on their level. And this is the perfect opportunity, I think, with a group that's open and available, with the energetic exercises and us leading them in a sense, because we've had experiences that I think something magical can really happen there in Sedona.
I so agree. I mean, we're super excited about, we've been friends for a long time,
Yes.
and we've, said, oh yeah, we should do something together, blah, blah, blah. But this is it. We are actually coming together with our various backgrounds. The thing that Alan and I share is the notion that as we are all evolving on the planet and the planet itself, the next phase, the next big leap in our evolution, we believe is tied to this ability to connect with our galactic family. It's where spirituality and ufology come together.
Right.
It's
Right.
they're not separate tracks as they have been. They've been kind of kept apart from one another. Some people bridge, but we are actually going to be actively bridging this, because both Alan and I are very, very dedicated to the evolution of humanity and the planet.
Absolutely. And we're so excited to be in beautiful, beautiful Sedona. If you've never been there, the rocks are really red. And the reason they're red is because of the iron content. And iron does at least two things I'm aware of. Your blood is red because of the iron in your blood, and the iron in your blood is there to attract oxygen. So we're in an oxygen-rich environment that increases the cognitive abilities of perception, and iron also creates magnetic fields. So we're also in a huge magnetic vortex. There are these little vortexes within the confines of Sedona, but Sedona itself, where the red rocks exist, create a magnetic field that heighten awareness. It heightens vibrational frequencies and allow us to connect to these beings that also exist at a higher frequency. So we have some beautiful houses for people to come and join us in. This is April 30th to May 4th. Everything's taken care of except your transportation to and from Sedona, and all the meals, and of course you could go shopping yourself, but we've arranged hikes and music and places on land and ceremonies and
Special surprise guest appearances.
and yes, definitely part of it, but being together in a container where you don't have to worry about judgment. You can share your deep, intimate contact experience or whatever you want to share. We're in this together. We're raising our frequencies together as a collective group. And I think magic happens.
I think you're right. And I want to just say that one of the beautiful things that Alan, that you bring to this whole mix is decades of research. Alan knows everyone in the field and has interviewed most of them, if not all of them. And you know how to do remote viewing. You're going to be teaching some of that. I mean, we're going to be gaining a historical perspective through some of Alan's lectures.
You know why I've been so obsessed with this subject, Hope?
Why, Alan?
Because it is the most exciting thing happening on planet Earth. It is the unknown. I mean, yes, there are beings here and they're visiting, and the government's trying to hide it, and there's so much going on in Congress. I was at the congressional hearings last month, but no one knows how it's really going to lay out. And I think it's up to us as the people of Earth coming together and coming together in special places like Sedona to really shift the frequencies towards a really positive, benevolent interaction with these beings. That's
So we're going to come away, everybody's going to come away with this 360-degree experience. And experience is the main thing. We're
right.
not just going to talk, we're going to have experiences so
We're-
that you come away
mm,
uh, changed,
right.
radically changed.
We're going to be out on the land, sitting on that red earth. And I love that. I love just being on that earth, that red earth, because you feel the charge.
That's the main thing, Alan. We can take the power if you want. We can take our own powerful course in making this contact a positive one. Because there are certainly, as history would teach us, contact that hasn't been so friendly on our side,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. The planet is getting weird, right? We can all say there's drones that are, or who knows if they're drones, they're plasma. There's something happening in our skies, and reality is not what it used to be. It just isn't. And so we're ready for something new. It is the times they are changing, as Bob Dylan said. He said that, 50, 60 years ago, but the times now really are changing. And I think it's where we're expect the unexpected, because that is what's coming. And people have a little fear of the unknown, but I say that's just because people are projecting their what they know onto the unknown. I say this unknown time that we're moving into is full of wonder, possibility, and the unimaginable in a very positive, uplifting way. And so I'm excited to do this with you, Hope. I'm excited for all the people that will be joining us who are already open adventures on the path, and keep looking up and join us.
The way to sign up for our workshop at spreadinfinitehope.com/Sedona.
April 30th to May 4th, 2025. Spread Infinite Hope, named after my good friend Hope.com/Sedona. That's the website. You could sign up and you can have a private room, or you could share a room. The meals are taken care of.
And by the way, regarding the meals, they are all homemade, beautifully crafted, home baked goods, organic, local, all the things that we like. And anybody who has a food preference, there's a form when you sign up to say what you'd like, and you will be accommodated.
And you just have to get yourself to Sedona to be part of this fantastic group. So, to wrap up, reach out to me at newrealities@earthlink.net, and you can reach out to Hope. What's your email, Hope?
hello@spreadinfinitehope.com.
Okay. And so if you have questions about the upcoming gathering, retreat, it's going to be beautiful home catered meals at a beautiful location. We're actually right on the Oak Creek, which is like the river that runs through Sedona. We'll be doing a lot of ceremonies and tuning in there and sky watching, and then also going out to the vortexes on the beautiful land of Sedona. And it's the perfect time because it's not too cold and definitely not too hot, because you don't want to be in the desert when it's really too hot. So it's really a good time to be in Sedona with our people, and we'll be making contact. I've never told people your contact experiences. This is the opportunity to share it. So join us in Sedona, Arizona, April 30th to May 4th for really amazing making contact and spreading infinite hope and waving to the universe. It's going to have all of that. There is Miss Wave herself. and
Very excited and know that we're going to have an amazing time.
yes, we look forward to seeing you there. Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in today. This is Alan Steinfeld for New Realities, and Hope Fitzgerald, spreading infinite hope everywhere she goes. Thanks for watching.